Welcome all. Today we will look into the projection of solids inclined to both planes. We have already discussed three problems related to projection of solids inclined to both planes. And here is the problem. A right circular cone 40 mm base diameter and 60 mm long axis is resting on HP on one point of base circle such that its axis makes 45-degree inclination with HP and 40-degree inclination with VP. Draw its projections. This is the question. Here 45-degree is the true inclination with HP and 40-degree is the true inclination with VP. 45-degree is the inclination, true inclination with HP, and that 45-degree is equal to theta, and true inclination with VP, phi is equal to 40-degree. Phi, we can represent both these angles as the angle between true length and xy line. As the angle between true length and xy line, and we can mark, or we can represent theta in front view and phi in top view. That is the usual procedure. Here the first figure, as usual, the first figure is like this. Here the base diameter of the circle is given so that we can complete the top view in the base figure, and front view, again front view we can complete like this. Here we can divide the circle into minimum 8 equal parts, and we can represent all the generators like this. Here the outermost portion of the solid must be in thick line. In top view also outermost portion, that means that circle must be in thick line. Then after that we can tilt this triangle, this front view, in such a way that its axis is inclined 45-degree with xy line. Here axis is in true length, so that we can represent that theta 45-degree is the angle between the front view of the axis and xy line. Here this axis makes an angle of 45 degree with HP. Otherwise we can represent the base makes an angle of 45 degree with HP condition, because here axis is always perpendicular to base. In the case of right angled pyramid or cone, given condition is axis inclined 45 degree with HP, then we can represent base inclined 45 degree with HP also. This angle is equal to 90 minus theta, angle between base and xy line. Then we can mark all the points on this base, and we can easily complete the front view. See, this procedure we have already discussed this procedure, and we can easily complete the top view also. Here in top view we can see that some points are invisible. That means point E is invisible. Here outermost portion must be in thick line. Then we can see that point E is invisible, so that portion must be in broken line. The points other than the outermost portion of the solid must be in broken line. And here we can see that this length is the top view of the axis, or axis top view length. Actually P1 O1 are representing the top view of the axis. That P1 O1 is not in true length. Actually that P1 O1 is in shortened length. Then here P1 dash O1 dash. P1 dash O1 dash is in true length. P1 dash O1 dash is in true length. P1 dash O1 dash is in true length, but P1 O1 top view of the axis is not in true length. So we can't tilt this top view. We can't tilt this top view in such a way that the top view of the axis making an angle of 40 degree with the XY line. That is the wrong procedure. That is wrong procedure. Then we can represent first we can represent the locus of the axis point. For that purpose, we have to draw a 40 degree line and mark the true length of the axis on this that 40 degree line, Here we can represent the 40 degree line. First we can represent a line which is inclined 40 degree with the XY line. Then after that we can represent this point. This point is P3. We can name it as P3. Here O2 P3 is equal to O1 dash P1 dash. This point is P1 dash. Then O1 dash P1 dash is equal to true length. O1 dash P1 dash is equal to true length. We can represent the true inclination with HP 45 degree. Theta is equal to 45 degree. Theta is equal to 45 degree in true length of the axis. Here we can represent that 45 degree. That is the correct procedure. Here O1 dash P1 dash is in true length. And we can represent true inclination or true inclination with the VP. True inclination with the VP, that phi is equal to 40 degree, and we can represent that phi only in true length. Here this O1 P1 is not in true length, so that we can't take this 40 degree as the angle between O1 P1 and XY line. Because that O1 P1 is not in true length. For that purpose, we can represent O2 P3 is equal to O1 dash P1 dash. That must be in true length. Then after that we can represent the locus. Just remember the line rotation method. In that line rotation method, we can see that true length makes an angle of 5 degree with XY line, and on that locus actually that top view resting. Here AB is the top view and AB1 is the true length of the line, and B and B1 must be on same locus, and that locus must be parallel to XY line. That is the condition. We have already discussed that circuit diagram. Then after that we have already represent the locus of the center. Then after that we can represent the top view of the axis O1 P1 as O2 P2 on that locus, and O2 must be that point. We have already marked that point. Here O2 P2 must be equal to O1 P1, and that is the top view of the axis. Then we will get another angle. That angle must be greater than 40 degree, and that angle is represented as beta, apparent inclination with VP. That angle is apparent inclination with VP beta. Then we can tilt the entire figure through that angle, apparent inclination with VP, that angle. We have already discussed the procedure to tilting this solid. Then we can project it and we can complete the front view. Here again the outermost portion of the solid always thick line, outermost portion of the solid always thick line. And while examining the front view or by using the visual ray method, we can see that H2, A2, B2, that points are visible, again G also, point G also visible, G also visible. That means the entire points, that point G, A, B, C, D, E, F already lying on the outermost portion of the solid, and that point G must be in thick line. That point G must be visible in front view. Similarly, point H is also visible. That point is here. That point also visible. G and H must be visible. That means the entire portion of the base must be visible. Then their entire ellipse must be in thick line. Finally, O2 dash P2 dash in chain line. That is the final answer. Thank you all.